We've just had our 8th grade to come in, and now now for our graduating class of 2021, would you please stand and receive our seniors at this time?
Now we see you, baby.
Good morning again. Before we proceed, I would just like to share with you, we ask that you please hold all applause and cheering until the appropriate time. I declare unto you, we will give you a moment to celebrate these wonderful students. And so we just ask that you hold applause, and we will let you know when you can do so. Thank you so very much. At this time, Demonche Carr is coming forward to lead us in our invocation.
Our dear Heavenly Father, it is with great humility that I come before you today asking that your blessings be bestowed upon us, all the graduates and their families, the staff and teachers, and the students who follow us. Continue to provide the wisdom and caring to all who have gathered as we start on life's journey. It is with the highest praise that we ask all this in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
We will now have our Pledge of Allegiance led by Johnson Carter.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Johnson, and thank you, Demonche. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
For the
may be seated. This morning, we are here for such a grand occasion. Our 8th grade Rite of Passage to 9th grade and our graduating seniors commencement exercise. We are so elated that you are here for this auspicious occasion to share in the success of these students who have prepared themselves to embark upon new arenas of their life. This is an awesome milestone, and I am certain that everyone here is so proud of each of these students' accomplishments. This year had its trials, its ups and downs, and the pandemic seemed relentless in its whole. But there are some people here who have worked tirelessly in the background to ensure that we have the best possible commencement exercise there is. I want to ask that as I call your name, that you will please stand and then you may be seated. Board Chair, Mr. Bruce Hill. Board Member, Mr. Keith King. Board Member, Mr. Merwin Smith. Board Member, Mr. Elijah Woods. Thank you. Also, our senior staff, our superintendents are here. I would like to recognize at this time our superintendent, Mr. Brent Williams, our associate superintendent, Ms. Frances Herring, and our assistant superintendent, Mr. Nicholas Harvey. Also, we have here, of course, you've probably seen him already, Mr. Patrick Holmes. You'll see him around. He will be videoing and doing the photography. We thank him for being here. Our high school director and CTE coordinator, Ms. Amy Jones. Our behavior specialists are here. We'd like for you to stand, please. Ms. Georgia Moretti, our compliance specialist, who has worked so hard with our school. I think I saw Ms. Julie Hill. Is she here? This is our sectional children's director for Lenoir County Public Schools. Ms. Stephanie Rafford, also a compliance specialist who also works with us. Our partners are here. These folks have come in and have built relationships and worked with our staff and our students so very hard. They are now officially a part of our team. We call them our LCLA staff. Mr. Chris Prasak is here. Mr. Derek, you'll hear from him. He's here on the stage. Ms. Jane Williams is here. And Dr. Michael Wales is also here. Also, I understand that Mr. Charles White is here. He is our Director of Technology. And if there are any other senior staff, board members, any of our central services staff here, please stand at this time. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Beverly Key. Thank you, Ms. Key, for being here. And I'm sorry, Ms. Melissa Lynch is here. Thank you for being here as well. I would also like to take this time to recognize our faculty and staff, wherever you are. If you're standing around, just raise your hand, or if you're seated, please just stand for just a moment to recognize this wonderful staff. They work so very hard on a daily basis. Our bus drivers, from the bus drivers to our faculty, our staff, our teachers, our cafeteria work, everyone just please stand. We thank you. So again, on behalf of Lenoir County Public Schools and LCLA, we would like to say to you, you're welcome. At this time, Ms. Diane Jones, our school counselor, is coming to present a special award.
We had two outstanding students. One in middle school and one in high school. And I would like to present the first award to Isaiah Moore as our outstanding middle school student. The next award goes to our outstanding high school student, also one of our graduates, Johnson Carter.
We will prepare for our Rite of Passage for our 8th graders from 8th grade to 9th grade. Ms. Jones will assist me.
Brianna Garner. Jade Harris. Michael McGee.
Isaiah Moore. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Ms. Jones. We will now have a musical rendition of Hero by Mariah Carey from two of our very talented students, Aquavion Keys, pianist, and Mr. Michael McGee, drummer.
All right, Rachel.
you, Aquavion and Michael, for that beautiful selection. You're both very gifted. Let's give them another round of applause. We will now prepare for our speaker, Mr. Darren Dalton, who has worked very hard with our staff and students here at LCLA. He has built positive relationships with all of us, and he will speak to our outstanding student body today. Coming to introduce our speaker today is a young lady who is one of LCLA's student drivers, or SGA officer, and that is none other than Ms. Gabrielle Dixon.
Darren Dalton is an important coach with Ed Direction Scenario Groups 3K through 12. Public education practice. Mr. Dalton holds an educational specialist degree in school administration and supervision from the University of Virginia, and he holds a master's degrees in education from Northwest Missouri and State University. Darren is currently working on his doctoral degree in school improvement at the University of West Georgia, with plans of beginning his dissertation related to school culture in the summer of 2021. I give you a valued member of LCLA team, Mr. Darren Dalton.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for that wonderful introduction, Gabrielle. That was awesome. I had to think about who that wonderful person was she was talking about. But I welcome board members, welcome district office members, district office personnel, all parents, family members, and friends, and also Kinston's finest over there under the tree. So it's great to see everyone out to support our graduates today. This is a wonderful and beautiful event. It's a beautiful morning to have this situation, to have this program. And just like Ms. Smith told me, be bright, be brief, and be gone. So that's my goal right now. She told me that in her own words. So at this point, Gabrielle did a great job of introducing me, but I'm also going to introduce myself in a different fashion. I'm a small town boy from Stokes County. I'm from North Carolina. I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been there for give or take 18 years. I've had an opportunity to be an educator for about 25 years. I've been a football coach, baseball coach, basketball coach. I've been a teacher, assistant principal, central office. I think I've done about custodian. I've done about everything you could do in the school building. And so that leads up to where I am now. I work with Drive, and we're one of the external partners with Ed Direction, and we come in to support LCLA several times a month. We have a very powerful team sitting over here, but we come in to work on culture, to work on instructional delivery with the teachers. So we have an outstanding opportunity to come in and be part of this family. So we do appreciate the opportunity to come and be a part of the LCLA family. We mean that from the bottom of our hearts, and that's for me and the entire team. As we look at exactly who I am, outside of what Gabrielle gave me, once again, small town boy. I grew up in Walnut Cove, North Carolina. Most of you probably have never heard of that. As a kid, I had a love for all sports, but I knew I was going to be a professional basketball player one day. Michael, where are you? Yeah, you know what's happening, yep. So I knew I was going to be a professional basketball player. I grew up in a time when we only had 3 channels. We had Channel 2, we had Channel 12, we had Channel 8. For all you gaming heads out there, we had the Atari system. That was what I began with, and some of you parents know what I'm talking about. And so I was a normal kid outside of that. Everything seemed normal outside of my household. And this is the part that Gabrielle didn't share with you because she left that up to me. Because I grew up with adversity and challenges. Even though on the outside I seemed like a normal kid. I would go hunting, ride my bike, go fishing, and do all those fun things in the country that we like to do. But on the inside, there was adversity and challenges that I was faced with on a regular basis. And that's what we want to talk about today. Because with my life, about 3rd grade, I realized that my household was a little bit different from the average household. I always had knocks at the door late at night. I always had people coming to visit, short visits, not very long visits, and these sustained visits went on for years. I never knew what was going on. And then here's the catch that made my life a little bit out of the ordinary. When I was in 3rd grade, I saw my first drug raid. All these degrees that I have now didn't prepare me for what I saw when I was in 3rd grade. I saw my first drug raid because I realized that my father was an actual drug dealer in my area, and he was pretty big. So one night when I was in 3rd grade, I saw my first drug raid, and I saw many people go to jail from my house, including my father. And then here's the generational cycle. Also, during that drug raid at the time, they were having a drug raid at my grandfather's house, who also was selling drugs. And so I had to deal with that. So I spent most of my childhood, instead of going to church on Sundays, I was going to prison camps throughout North Carolina. That's how I grew up. So while people were in church, I was riding to Johnston County, I was riding to Winston-Salem, I was riding somewhere in North Carolina. Every time he moved, we moved. Every time my grandfather moved, we moved. So we traveled on Sundays because of this situation. And also while I'm growing up, I had an older brother. And my older brother at an early age, he had an inclination to just kind of do things that were not real cool, like breaking the law. Like the first time he went to jail, he was stealing guns and selling them at age 15. So he went to jail. So here I go, following my brother. Once again, it's all about adversity and challenges. When I hit 20 years old, my father received his 3rd offense for drug charge for drug trafficking. On his 3rd offense, it was a cocaine charge. He got 77 years. So now I'm in high school and finishing high school, going to college, and I have to leave college to come home to support my dad as he gets sentenced for 77 years on a cocaine charge. He goes to prison for 77 years. I'm working. I'm out of school. I'm trying to make it work. Still hoping to be an NBA basketball player, Michael, but it wasn't working out because of the adversity and challenges that I've been exposed to. As he's gone, my uncle also gets arrested a year or so later for a similar charge. He goes to jail. So I was surrounded by different individuals who had different views on life, who also presented challenges and adversity to me because I had to make a decision. And so at one point, the prison visits became kind of normal. At one point, being in a prison was actually okay. It wasn't that bad of a thing. So my exposure had actually tainted the way I looked at the world. And then I looked at the police differently. I looked at my dad differently. I looked at my relatives different in a different fashion because it was very challenging as I grew up and having to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with my life, because that's part of the adversity and that's part of the challenges that we face. And I say that because each one of us faces adversity. Each one of us will face challenges. As you guys graduate today, things won't get easier, but you'll have to prepare yourself to deal with this adversity and challenges that are around the door. You may have to deal with things that went on in your past, but everything is in your past at this point. You start from scratch today, but you have to have a plan in place. And so I present you kind of a structure or a guideline for you as you move forward. And it's not only for the graduates, this is for everyone else who's present, because we have to start asking ourselves questions. If you ask yourself questions every day, you should keep yourself moving in the right direction. And no matter what's happened in your past, if you can keep these 4 questions in the forefront of your life, it helps out. It still won't make it perfect. It still won't make it easy. But the first question is, who do you want to be? So you have to think about that. Because when we turn on the television or we log onto our phones, sometimes social media will tell us exactly who we should be. Sometimes our friends, our father, our brother, our uncle, sometimes they'll tell you who you should be. But you have to search deep down inside and find out exactly who you want to be. What do you want to do in your life? What can you do? Exactly what direction are you going to go? Don't fall for it when someone else tells you you should be something that you don't want to be. Like my brother did with me. He told me often what he wanted me to do. But at some point you have to make your own decision. So think about who you want to be. That's the first question. The second question, what are you doing to be that person? When you figure out what you want to be, what are you doing to work toward that goal? Are you going to school? Are you making decent grades? Anthony, we talked about being a mechanic. Are you reading those books about working on cars? Are you getting a job at the auto parts store? So different things that you want to do when you decide what direction you want to go in, you have to start working in that direction. So what are you doing to be the person that you want to be? That's the second question. The third question is, once you start doing that, how's it working? Do a self-check. Is it going well? Are you moving towards your goal? Or are you moving away from your goal? So if you can stop for a second and say, well, what I'm doing is not working. I'm actually not going to work on time. I'm not doing my work. You know, those things aren't going to get me to my goal of who I want to be. So you have to make adjustments because life will throw you so many curves that you need to make the adjustments on the run. And then the last step, this is very simple, is have a plan. So when things go wrong or when things don't go well, make the adjustment. Keep planning and make sure that you have another option and keep your options open by doing the right thing. So these are the 4 questions that I want you to answer. And I think Ms. Shirley is going to give you guys a copy of these really basic questions that you have to ask yourself often. Because once again, it'll get harder before it gets easier. And in closing, keep the 4 questions in your back pocket as you move forward because you can do it. If I went through adversity and challenges, you can get through adversity and challenges as well. And that goes for every one of us. And you can keep growing once you start moving in the right direction. But keep growing, keep trying to discover yourself. Because as you get older, as you make changes in your life, as you move around the world or whatever the case may be, you'll start to learn more about yourself. Be open to change. Don't sit back and try to ride out whatever's been going on in your life for the last 18 years because the same plan won't work. You have to keep changing. Don't hide from mistakes because I've made so many mistakes I can't even count them. But you don't hide from them because mistakes aren't really mistakes. They're just learning opportunities if you make the adjustments once you make the mistake. Keep moving forward because there will always be someone or something trying to hold you up. Someone trying to lead you in the wrong direction. Some situation that makes you want to stop and quit. You have to keep moving forward. Learn from everything. Learn from everything that you do, whether good or bad. And then last but not least, treat everyone with respect. You never know what type of person or what person you encounter who will need to bail you out someday, or some person who you'll need their support or you'll need their reference. You have some great teachers here. You have some great educators in this district. You have some wonderful people here to support you. You have to make sure that you treat them right because they work hard every day for you. So make sure that you keep that in mind. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to be bright, be brief, and be gone. Best of luck to the graduates, and thank you so much for having me aboard today, and I love you guys.
Thank you, Gabrielle, for that fine introduction. And I want to thank this dynamic speaker for those inspiring words of encouragement, Mr. Darren Dalton. Let's give him another round of applause. And now, this moment that this graduating class has worked so hard for, 13 years of hard work, and some maybe more. If Ms. Jones will join me, we will now award diplomas. We ask that you hold all applause until all the graduates are called. And again, we will give you that moment to celebrate these bright young people.
Chelsea Albright. She will be entering Lenoir Community College, pursuing a career in counseling. Anthony Lowe, who will be entering Lenoir Community College with a mechanic certification. Dontario Briggs Hall, he will be entering the workforce. Carr, he will be entering LCC, and he's interested in auto mechanics. Johnson Carter. He will be entering the workforce. JC Chapa. She will be entering the workforce. Misikia Clark. She will be entering LCC, pursuing a nursing degree. Kanaja Edwards. She will be entering the workforce. Alvin Fisher. He will be entering the workforce. Emmanuel Gonzalez. He will be entering the workforce. Alton McKnight. He will be entering the workforce. Jay-Sean Mitchell. He will be entering the workforce. Michael Stevens. He will be entering the workforce. Jermaine Williams. He will be entering the workforce. And that's our graduates, our 2021 graduates. We will continue to celebrate this class a little bit later in the program. Class, students, you may be seated. I'm sorry. Seniors or graduating class, you may be seated. I would just like to say very briefly to this graduating class of 2021, what a year it has been. Unexpected, unprecedented, unrelenting, unusual, uncertain. And it seemed like obstacle after obstacle. But you persevered, you stood the test of times because you stayed the course. You stayed focused through it all because you are here today. I want you to know how proud the faculty, staff, parents, I'm sure, and all of us here for your determination, your persistence, and I want you to take that persistence and determination with you the rest of your life to bring about positive, life-changing experiences for you and your family. I want you to always keep this quote by Michael Jordan in mind. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure it out. Figure out how to climb it and go through it or work around it. As I shared with the class last year, wear it proud, wear it true. You should be proud to wear your white and your blue. Be proud of being a graduate of Lenoir County Learning Academy. Not necessarily how you got here, but because of all the obstacles you have overcome and all that you accomplished to be here graduating today. Your diploma you have received will take you as far as you want to go. Go far. Make us proud.
Just go and be great. J.C. Chapper will now come and lead you in turning of the tassels.
It is with great pride that I would ask the graduates and the family of the graduates to rise. For sharing our pain and our trials, our successes and our failures, we include you, our families, in this honor. Class of 2021 LCLA Bulldogs, you may turn your tassels from the right to the left.
Thank you, JC. Class of 2021. I said I wasn't going to cry today. Woo. Some of you started out at Kinston High with me. I'm going to leave that alone. All right. I hope you have received some of the fans that you enjoyed today. These were made by our students. So we thank them so very much for that because it is very hot. We thank them for that. We want to thank our parents, which I think are already standing. I was going to ask you to stand. Thank you for all that you've done in working with us. It's been a team approach, and it does still take a village. So we do thank you so very much. Thank you for coming and sharing in this special culminating event for our graduates. Just before we really celebrate, just a few words of instructions for the class of 2021 graduates. You have some gifts that the staff, bus drivers, and many people donated for you at the front entrance. So please pick those items up. Please take your yard signs with you. They're a gift from all of us here at LCLA. To all our guests, when the benediction is over, we'll allow our graduates to get out, and then we will celebrate with the loudest, thunderous applause that you can give them as they proceed out to the front. And then you will be considered dismissed. Right now, our honor graduate with the highest GPA, who is also adorned in his academic regalia, Mr. Anthony Blow, will come for our benediction.
Just before I say the benediction, as an honor graduate, I would like to share my wonderful experience here at Lenoir County Learning Academy. I want to say congratulations to all graduates. I had a very good time at LCLA. LCLA helped me, please bear with me, helped me to be successful in school and in life. I would like to thank Ms. Smith for encouraging me and reminding me to always do my best. She taught me to think before I act, and I would like to thank Ms. Jones, who is my school mother to me, and thank you for preparing me to get my high school diploma and move on to LCC. Lastly, I would like to thank Mr. Lopez, who helped me solve my problems when I became upset. I would like to thank all of the LCLA staff who supported me. I would like to say, when people tell you that you can't do it, believe that you can and continue to do your best. Always keep God in your heart. Let us pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, it is with great humility that I come before you today, asking that your blessings be bestowed upon all the graduates and their families, the staff and teachers, and the students who will follow us. Continue to provide the wisdom and caring to all who have gathered as we start on life's journey. It is with the highest praise that we ask all this in your Son's name. Amen.
Just one more comment. Just want to thank you, Anthony. I wanted to let you know that this event is being videoed, and it will be on Lenoir County Public Schools website and LCLA's Facebook page. So just look out for it there. Also, I forgot to mention Miss Caitlin Kennedy, who is also here helping and assisting. If you just wave your hand, she's here helping and assisting Mr. Holmes. Now, I want you to help me celebrate this class of 2021 as they go out with the loudest, biggest, thunderous applause that you can give them. Class of 2021. Woo!
Yes, sir.